What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video, man. And it looked like Todd Monken is caught lying about these reps, dog. Now, we know last time they had training camp, it was reported that SHEDEUR will be splitting the first team reps with Deshaun Watson. Unfortunately, that was not the case this past weekend. Now, Todd Monken has to do some damage control because it ain't just him. Everybody's missing the facts. The fact of the matter is the offensive coordinator also have to agree on those reps being changed. And for Todd Monken to come in here and say, I simply changed my mind, it's not my job to let y'all know if I changed my mind or not. No, it's your job to inform the media in what the scheduled practice is. You have a game plan that you go off of before these practices. You went against your game plan. Why is that? Why is that? I'm going to tell you why. I believe Jimmy Haslam is telling Todd Monken it's time to tell the truth. And the truth about it is, the closer we get to the games, the sooner we get to preseason, Deshaun Watson is our quarterback. Ain't no ifs, ands, ain't no damn buts. Don't let nobody sugarcoat you and lie to you, telling you that it's still a chance SHEDEUR is going to be the quarterback. Because SHEDEUR is not going to be the starting quarterback. I'm even more convinced now. Now, if he do become the starting quarterback, I'm happy, ecstatic, elated. But I just hate to be the bearer of bad news. I do not believe that they're about to name SHEDEUR Sanders the 2026 starting quarterback. Hell, I don't even think SHEDEUR Sanders might not see the light of day this season.
At left tackle, and you'll see Denzel a lot with the ones at X receiver starting today.
Todd, what was the reason for the change in plans with quarterback?
It really was SHEDEUR on Saturday took the ones in the walk, so I anticipated him being with the ones. When I walked out, guys grabbed me and said, hey, the last couple days we've been kind of looking at it. SHEDEUR's got a few more reps with the ones. That's all it was. I wasn't even at the moment. I was like, yeah, sure, we'll flip it, and then next week we'll go the other way. I sure as hell wasn't thinking about coming back in here and telling all you guys that I was going to change my mind, because I really don't have to. And so that's just the way, being the head coach, I can kind of do that. Ultimately, SHEDEUR's going to go today with the ones, unless on the way out I change my mind, and then he won't. Okay, just like any other player in terms of how we rotate them. And the bottom line is the speculation, which I find kind of funny, is as long as we're still sharing reps, it's a competition. It would not make any sense. Thus what we're doing with Spencer. Thus we're up in Denzel's reps. I promise you, I'll tell you. When I know what we're going to be doing, you'll know. So at the end of the day, today, as far as I know, SHEDEUR's going with the ones, and then Deshaun the next day, and then SHEDEUR will get Wednesday with the pads on.
Have you decided who will start at quarterback?
I have not. I anticipate the next couple of days. I'm kind of going through, they're each going to start a game. How do I want it that way? Does that make sense? Like, it's not that they're each going to start a game. We're still going to go through this week, and next week we're going to have to decide when we practice against the Bills, because then you're not going to just give one practice. You're not going to give one of the quarterbacks the ones. You're going to have to rotate those guys a little bit in the preseason practice. And then after those two games, then I think we'll be closer to at least having a better idea. But one's going to start one game, and the other one's going to start the other.
Todd, Watson had 7 interceptions the first 7 practices. He's had 1 in the last 4. What's been responsible for turning him around?
As I said a little bit, the install shrunk. Some of that has shrunk. I mean, I don't want to say anything because we do practice today, so wouldn't want to jump in that. But again, it's part of it. Sometimes it comes in bunches. Like I said, a couple of years ago at the Ravens, one day we had 8 in one day. Well, I don't know, like I said, he went on to have 41 touchdowns and 4 picks. I don't know. It's part of the learning process. And again, not all the interceptions are going to be on him, but ultimately it falls on him to make sure we take care of the ball.
Is it just a case, too, with maybe Deshaun earlier in practice, he was taking more risks or trying to experiment with things?
Some of that could be true, for sure. Sometimes I just think it's a lot of things. Taking more risk, poor decision, protection, right? Where then he's trying to move and making a throw, and that's with all the quarterbacks. But that's part of the learning process is I wouldn't say taking chances, but learning from the throws that you make, the decisions that you make on an everyday basis.
Why the decision to go with Spencer with more reps with the first team, and what did you think of how he kind of held his ground against first when they got in the fight, and then after that?
Well, we were already leaning that way, and then Saturday solidified it.
What did you think of him not backing down to first? Took him down.
Saturday solidified it.
So you like it?
Saturday solidified it.
Does sometimes with a player like Spencer, is that what you need to see? Is just sort of that, they come
You just did it, what Tony was trying to get in, and you just took it the other way on that. 100%. Don't you want to see a player, especially in the O-line, not back down? I mean, as your starting left tackle, right? All your hopes and dreams, right? Ability to move the football and protect your left tackle, to not have him back down against a Pro Bowler, I mean, of course. And that builds a little bit. It's just one day. Hell, we'll be indoors today. It would be a fast track. So, I mean, but we're coming back. Okay. But that's it, right? You want to see the competition part. You want to see a guy not back down, right? If they don't stand up for themselves, then you really are concerned, right? Now you're like, ooh, man.
So was that planted? Was first instructed to start something?
No. What? You guys, I mean, I think I'm pretty smart. That's a pretty good idea, but I did not do it that way on purpose. So it just turned out that way organically.
In the very next play, they went head-to-head again without missing a beat.
It was really cool. And hopefully we'll get that today, and we'll get that Tuesday, and that's what you want, right? I mean, if it's all one-sided, that's a bad deal, one way or the other, right? You really don't want your left tackle dominating every edge rusher you got, and you sure as hell don't want to be just a leaky faucet and it's a convoy at the quarterback. So I thought it was really, really cool. Of everything at the practice, their competitive spirit was the number one thing. Along with, and I know we were beat up on defense, inside and at corner, but just the way we functioned offensively, irrespective of who was out there quarterback, they were better. We had one delay game where we're taking too much line. That was Deshaun. So it was like, okay, so it just felt better. Now, we'll see how it goes today. Every day's different.
Todd, understanding that some of that, the scuffles and some of that's going to come with the territory this time of year, especially you're saying you like some of that in your practices, but how do you kind of balance, like, what's the right amount of that in a practice where you get that competitive spirit shown, and where it kind of boils over those two points?
Well, we were on the ground too much. I told the team that. We had a chip that, Isaiah was off balance, and we're not going to do that to our guys. And there were times we, on the sideline, Nate, tried to make a play and kind of fell down into the group on the side, or some of the contact down the field. I like it. I want us to be aggressive, but we got to take care. Brown's got to take care of Browns. I mean, that's just the way we've got to do it. But knowing that it's competitive, right, and try to stop ourselves at times from getting emotionally hijacked. I can be that way in our players in the moment to do something that we regret later.
So, Todd, when you watched the film yesterday and went over everything, did you come away with sort of the feeling that the quarterback competition is still sort of even Steven and anybody can still run away with this thing?
Well, run away is a stretch.
Okay.
But I would just say that I've been impressed with all of our quarterback room. I'll start with that. But I've been impressed with both players and the way they've handled, right, the back and forth of the reps. And we're trying as best we can to balance the reps so we give both of them an opportunity to showcase their skill set. It's never going to be perfect, and they've handled that great. SHEDEUR today was great. There wasn't, sure, maybe Saturday would have preferred to be with the ones. I'd be pissed if he wasn't. Like, all of our guys should want to be with the ones. But they've been great. And I think they've both improved dramatically. I've always said about SHEDEUR, but even the last week or so, Deshaun has played better. He has played better. He's looked better. He's made better decisions. And I think some of that grows, like all of us, as they have success, right? Their confidence is going to grow with the success that they have every day.
What about
to go back to the O-line, DeWan, I mean, been in that competition with Spencer, but is he still competing to be one of those first starting 5 here?
Well, we're always competing, so he's been competing the whole time. But I've been awfully proud of DeJuan by what he's done in the offseason to get himself into shape, and his body looks like it is. But at this point, Spencer's playing better. Now, once that happens, you're not only competing to try and, hey, maybe I could, if something happened, be the right tackle. Maybe I'm still competing there. And yet you're also competing like, all right, once that happens, I'm competing for a roster spot. And that's what you're doing at that point. Once you get to that point, I'm like, okay, I better compete my rear end off to get a roster spot. When you end up rotating then with your 2s, now you're fighting to make the team.
What about Boston going to the first team? Why was that decision Boston?
He's made a bunch of plays. I mean, I've seen it. You've seen it. He's made a bunch of plays. And we want to move Jerry around. I think Jerry is best when he's on the move. I think he's at his best when he's on the move. He's elite. He can separate. And I think Denzel has shown, hey, when you're into the boundary, I think you make contested catches. A lot of your 3-by-1 stuff may go there. So it's like, it's not final. It's just we want to see where we're at with that mix. We want to get KC more involved because what we've seen. Hell, IB made a great play yesterday on a glance and slant. So I really like where we're at. All we're trying to do is, I like those guys and Tylen. Where do we get them in the right spot that allows us to function at a maximum level? And that's what we want to see for this week.
A couple more. Going back to the things getting heated on the field out there, there's some new faces here, so they are all still also working to gel together. How have you seen this team respond and after those moments, when they come off the field, when they're back here in the meeting rooms together, how have they responded after some of those scuffles, some of those heated moments?
Some better than others, but that's part of it, you know?